Cece Chan. I am a third-year student from Seattle, Washington, and I am the ASPLU President.
My name is Naomi Atnafu. I am a third year here at PLU, and I am from Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, I am a third-gen Chinese American, which means that my parents were also born in Seattle. They grew up in the south side of Seattle, and it was my grandma and my grandpa who came over from China. And so that kind of shapes a lot of my identity. Another identity I hold is that I grew up in a Christian household. We went to church on Sundays, and I still consider myself a woman of faith.
I grew up in an Ethiopian household. I come from two immigrant parents that worked really hard to provide for me and my sister. Culture has always been a big part of my upbringing, and it becomes the core of the reason that I do the things that I do. It's the reason I study political science. I'm interested in immigration and international relations, and then also business and finance, because finances and things like that were like taboo in our community.
I chose PLU because I was really drawn to their values of diversity, justice, and sustainability. And so I was really drawn to the Students of Color floor. Just having a community of people that could look like me and relate to me was really big.
I chose PLU for a plethora of reasons, one being the amazing Study Away program. I'm really excited to be able to study abroad next fall. I also chose PLU for the kindness and the warmth that I felt when I came here for Presidential Scholarship Weekend. I really felt that there was a community that I haven't really felt at any other university that I had toured, and it genuinely felt like a place that I can make home. This year, the culture is diverse. We have the most diverse Senate that we've ever had in ASPLU, and a lot of different cultures, a lot of different backgrounds, socioeconomic statuses, majors, sexual orientations are all represented in ASPLU this year. I think as a woman of color in this position, I feel like there's a specific way that we are expected to do things. And there's a specific stance that people expect us to take on things. And so trying to balance the needs of our community while also looking at the bigger scale and prioritizing marginalized communities, because that hasn't been done before here at PLU, is a hard thing. I think having the diverse community that we do now allows for a lot of support and garners a lot of care.
We also want to leave our mark on this university, and that's a lot of pressure too as two women of color. It's like, how do we leave our mark in systems and spaces that weren't made for us to begin with? And so there's also that pressure too of that you are two women of color in this position, and for a lot of administration, for a lot of the university, we represent the voice of students of color.
Currently, we are working in student well-being task force groups, and so we're doing our best to connect with RHA, SAC, to make sure that we're putting student well-being at the forefront of our activities and legislation that's going to be coming out in the near future.
Another thing we're trying to do this year is a lot of conversations around critical race theory. Me, Naomi, and then our social justice director and our finance director have created this group called GATE. It's the Gathering of Anti-Racism and Truth-Telling in Education, just to kind of send this message that we student leaders in Tacoma stand for critical race theory, and we're going to hold our universities accountable for using the lens of critical race theory, not only in their classrooms, but how we navigate this university, what our spaces look like.
I would say something that I'm learning is the need to put yourself in uncomfortable positions sometimes to be able to grow. I think it's beneficial for my growth and the benefit of all students to be able to put myself in environments where I can sit back, take the back seat and kind of listen and understand the struggles and experiences of other students to be able to represent them as best I can.
One thing I would recommend, always go down to the lower level of the AUC and check out the Diversity Center. Come by the RHA and ASPLU office and just say hi. Those spaces are for you too. We know they can be intimidating because you see other upperclassmen in there and you don't know if you'll be able to fit in. Honestly, those spaces were made for you.